Play like a really funny new song.
I'll try.
Like
In post-production.
yeah, but like make it like be like some like hard rock or like hard rap.
Ooh, yeah, like a rap song.
Yeah. And then be like, just kidding.
Deal.
Okay. And so should I say episode 51 or should I say season 2 episode 1?
No.
Please reach me episode
You could
season 2.
just say
episode
actually
1.
it's just 51. We're still gonna count, right?
Yeah. Welcome to Least Beat to Meet episode 51, otherwise known as season 2, episode 1.
Yeah, it's episode 1, right?
No, it's 51. Cheers, Jimmy,
Cheers.
for your beer and my ice.
Yep. Don't eat an ice cube, please.
Yep, I will refrain, even though it's all I want to do all day long. It's what I do all day long. Pretty sure my enamel and my teeth are wearing away as we speak.
Well, we're back and we're better than ever.
Oof. Yes.
Sort of. I need to come to life. I ate a really big dinner.
You did. Today is Jimmy and I's our 2-year wedding anniversary.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
I don't have the applause sound.
Oh, yep. So we went out to dinner in Columbus, obviously, and we got a really good, it was like Asian food from Basil.
Yeah, it's like Thai food, I think.
Yeah. We got some sweet and sour tofu, which was amazing, and then some green curry, which was really good, and some sweet potato fries. I don't know. It was really good.
Yeah.
The spice, though, they always ask you, like, what level of spice do you want? And we always say, like, the hottest, and I don't think it's never hot.
It was hot, but it wasn't.
It wasn't, like,
Yeah.
very hot.
I'm telling you, you're on a different level. You make fun of me, but
Yes.
it's hard to eat your tofu scramble.
I haven't even put any spices in it lately. Anyways, so yeah, it's our anniversary. We didn't really do anything else to celebrate. We're podcasting.
Yeah, I mean, you're pregnant.
Yeah, I'm really pregnant.
Last year we were on the road. I think we podcasted.
Last year we
We were starting the podcast last year.
Yeah, last year we were on a boat on our anniversary.
Was that our anniversary?
I'm pretty sure we were on a boat.
Do you know, we can make that something you earn.
What?
That I think it.
Oh.
No, actually, neither of them are up. So, like, episode 4 was called Famous Vegans.
Yeah.
And there was a part 1 and part 2. Part 2 was so horrific that I got rid of it because we were blackout drunk, essentially.
Well, I mean, we were on vacation and
We didn't know what we were doing.
yeah.
But it's the first show with the current microphones and all of our
sounded
production
good.
equipment. It's the first good sounding show. We did 2 in a row.
Yeah.
And I left one up for like 6 months. But then when we interviewed Moby,
Pulled it.
I was scared that he might be like, what's the show I'm going on?
And
Pull up
listen.
our list, see Famous Vegans, say, I'll listen to that one.
Yeah.
And
Well, we didn't make fun of him.
I did. I was like, is Moby even like relevant?
Oh.
And then I pulled him up. Well, then I pulled him up on Spotify and I was like, holy cow, he's still
He's still a thing.
has a lot of listens. But anyways, that's dead. If you click on Famous Vegans,
Don't click on it.
it won't. It
Well, it
won't
doesn't
open.
matter.
I
but
still have them somewhere though. Maybe that can be a special release.
that was. I mean, well, the premise of the show was just anybody who's vegan who's famous, but there's really not a lot of information there. It's just once you say like this person's vegan, you move on. You know?
I'm gonna listen to it
No,
and see if that.
I just remember the only thing I remember from that show is that you were like, Queen Bee is a vegan, and I was like, I'm sorry, did you just refer to Beyonce as Queen Bee?
Wow,
So,
I'm just that cool.
anywho, well, a year later, here we are. 2 years later, 2 babies.
Almost.
Yep. I'm really pregnant. It was great 2 years. Good job.
Yeah. So we're
Like you
moving
said,
forward.
We've got 8 more to go.
8 more what? Children?
8 more years.
Oh, yeah.
Until we have to renew our marriage license.
Yeah, that's the rule. 10 marriage licenses should only last 10 years.
Yep.
Then you have to get remarried if you're still interested.
That's what's going to happen.
I think that's a terrible
What?
recommendation. Sorry, folks.
I think it's a good one. Reevaluate things. See if it's still working for you. In 10 years, if this isn't working, you get a get out of jail free card. You can go.
That's terrible. Okay. There's no get out of jail free.
All right, whatever.
Stuck together.
Okay. Anyways, so what else is going on?
Well, season 2, before we get started, the one thing we don't ask enough at the beginning is to rate us on iTunes. I always say that at the end, but I want to say it at the beginning. If you listen to the show, the number one thing you can do to help the show is go to iTunes. Don't even have to write a rating. Just click
all 5 stars.
5 stars and move on. If you've done it already, we appreciate it. You can do it on Podbean also or any other podcast place, but iTunes is the biggest place to grab it. And every time someone clicks 5 stars or whatever,
we make $5.
Yeah, right. We don't make a penny, but it moves us up the list. And next time someone searches vegan, we might be farther up that list.
Yeah.
And then that gets more people exposed to it.
And then someone's like a little wayward vegan out there, and then they listen to this podcast and they're like, "Oh, look, they're normal. I could do that."
That's how it goes.
Yep.
Lisa got recognized at
a farmer's market.
A farmer's market the other day.
Yeah.
It was really funny. It's like, I'm sorry to stalk you, but are you Lisa?
I was like, yes.
They were super nice.
Yeah, no. One of those girls that she was with, I used to work out with at that workout place in Columbus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's like very athletic.
Very cool.
Yeah. So what else is going on? Season 2, not many changes. Jimmy's going to run through some sort of thing.
Some sort of Ponzi scheme. Should I do that now?
Yeah, I don't know how to explain
yeah,
it.
At least that's really, I don't either. But if you listen to podcasts, you've probably heard of Patreon.
Have you, though? Is it like a normal thing?
I hadn't heard of it until my sister asked us if we're doing one or if we've done one.
I believe it's pronounced Patron.
Patreon, like patron, I guess. Patreon.
The tequila.
But once I heard it, then I noticed more people were doing it.
Oh, really?
And then when I went onto their site, it kind of lists the big people who are doing it. And it's a lot of, well-known names and stuff.
Okay.
But essentially, not to bore you too much with it, it's like a crowdfunding thing for someone producing something artistic.
It's like donations.
Yeah, sort of.
The way I see it, it's either we advertise with some boring-ass advertisements, or people donate to us so we don't have to advertise.
Yeah, and that's essentially what it is. As we move forward, obviously our schedule's been pretty up and down and back and forth, so we're trying to get more consistent. And Patreon, what it is it's patreon.com/Lisa Beats Your Meat will take you to our page, and it's just asking for contributions, I guess you could say, like chipping in, but
Bitcoin. We accept Bitcoin.
We will. We can talk about that later. But I don't really know how to explain it. But if you go there's really cool videos, and we'll have a video of us explaining it. But it essentially was created by somebody who didn't want to advertise, but still needed some kind of support from the people they were providing this entertainment to, or whatever you want to call what we're doing. So essentially we have 2 choices here if we want to make any money on this. And we're not trying to live off this podcast, but if we had some kind of...
quit my job.
Lisa did quit her job. And what takes us away from this podcast is working to pay the bills.
That's true.
So if we had people who listened to the show and wanted to kick in on this site. Now, essentially, we're not asking for like a $20 subscription.
No.
It's like you can choose to like have $1 come out of your account like once a month, or you can make a one-time donation. There's like tiers.
I think it's just either you listen to us talk about Blue Apron or Squarespace or whatever else.
Those are definitely the podcast sponsors.
Advertisements are. Or you throw us some money and then we don't have to. Isn't that the gist of it?
Pretty much, yeah. I'd say if we were going the advertising route, it would be because we were looking to turn this into some kind of, sustainable income. We're not. Mm-hmm. We're just looking for, if you're a listener and you want to go to Patreon and you want to contribute, do it.
But
and
there's definitely not a need.
No, I mean we're providing Lisa Beats Your Meat for free. But people have asked us, how they can contribute to the show. And again, like I said, the number one way is to review us positively online. Mm-hmm. We just want to expose this to as many people as possible. But if you want to be part of this Patreon and actually want to support the show, there's like tiers that are set up.
Mm-hmm. The more money you give us, the more we'll give you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you that lost episode 2 of Famous Vegans.
Oh, that'll be like if you give us $20, we'll give you that.
You have to pay like $1,000 for that. A bit of my soul and innocence on that podcast.
It has to like self-destruct after a few minutes.
Yeah, it's like a audio Snapchat. They should do that. Audio Snapchat.
Like a podcast that disappears.
Yeah.
We need that. We need to make our first few episodes disappear.
Oh my gosh, that was a genius idea.
But anyways, I'm not going to talk that much about it. But if you've never heard of Patreon, even if you're not interested in contributing to our show or any other shows, it's a pretty cool site. It's taking off, and I think it's going to be kind of a new thing for podcasting.
Yeah. To
kind of help listeners avoid advertising.
I would do it just so I don't have to hear a Squarespace.
Yeah, there's a few shows that I listen to that I would gladly give $1 a month to for the amount of content I'm getting if I didn't have to have them feed in and out of advertisements. I like Joe Rogan puts them all at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, we were listening to one of those like crime ones or whatever. And BT Dubs, the theme of season 2 is vegan crimes.
Yeah,
they're so
right.
popular. It's vegan murders. I'm just kidding. But we were listening to some sort of crime show on the road, and then in the middle of like a serious like murder mystery,
like horrific.
He just popped in and was like, "Oh, and Squarespace and blah 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 blah. Just this is how you do." I was like, "What? It's some sort of segue.
Yeah.
It's anything."
The music gets dramatic.
Yeah, it was really stupid.
But yeah, pretty much there's 3 ways to make money on a podcast. You can advertise products for other people. You could advertise something you've created for yourself. But we don't want to do either of those things because they are kind of, I'm sure there's stuff that we'd gladly advertise that we'd feel strongly about. Yeah. But we'll just
cutting board.
Yeah, we'll just openly talk about those things.
Yeah,
but anyways,
you weren't listening.
I was your cutting board, but it's not. There isn't a cutting board, so
okay. Well,
don't give it away.
No, it's cool. I was gonna make a cutting board, and it's the most ingenious idea. You take two cutting boards, basically, like
what if someone
plexiglass.
Steals this idea?
You know what? Then that's fine.
If you want one of these, tell Lisa, and she'll fab it up.
Yeah. No, if someone wants to steal this idea, it's okay because it's a good thought out into the universe, and if someone turns it into fruition, I had this idea months ago. I didn't do anything with it. That's like someone's like, "Oh, the iPod was my idea." Well, you didn't do it, so it's it's fine. But anyways, I want to take 2 plastic or like the really thick stuff that you make like a cutting board out of, the see-through stuff. Transparent. Yeah. BT, I'm really pregnant. I can't speak. And then I want to glue them together on 3 sides so that you can slip in your recipe inside of the cutting board. So while you're making your dish or whatever, you can see your recipe all nice and neat behind protected plexiglass.
And Lisa will have specially fitting recipes you can slide in there or print off.
That's a really good idea.
It's not a bad idea.
I'm going to go on Shark Tank with it.
Well, you could make that a level of Patreon support.
Well, I'm just like, there'd be like 5 made.
Yeah. Well, they made us put tiers. So we put like basic, $1 a month, beater, which was like $5 a month. Mm-hmm. That's like $1.25 a show, essentially. We're also going to be doing 1 show a week consistently now. And then we put a couple sillier ones in there. But anyways, check it out. It's patreon.com/Lisa Beats Your Meat.
If you want.
If you want. Yeah, we don't care. You're still a beater if you don't.
No judgments.
Come on to Patreon. But if we can get a little bit flowing in from this, then we can totally avoid advertising.
Yeah.
And we figured out what we could make from advertising, and we're at the point of listenership that there are places we can go to make a few bucks.
You know we could sell our website also?
Yeah.
That there's like a dollar amount for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it's based on hits and stuff?
Yeah, it's a sizable amount.
Okay.
I didn't tell you that because we were in a fight. And I saw it and I was like, I'm going to have to remember to say this when I'm not mad at you.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, let's just keep providing free content. But if you want to kick in, and then, there's a certain level where I don't know. Go look at it. Patreon.com/Lisa Beach Meat. Back to the show, though.
Yeah, enough of that boring stuff. So anyways.
That's kind of neat.
What else? I'm pregnant. We had a really good meal. What else? Oh, we had food from the little food truck.
Yeah.
From the Westgate
Isn't
Farmers
the little
Market.
kitchen?
The little kitchen truck.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they had a salmon lox bagel, and I think the salmon was made out of carrots. Like they turned carrots into salmon. It was ridiculous.
Magical then, because
they should just sell those salmon lox bagels. I don't know. The milkshake was really good too. So.
I was blown away. Never had anything like it in my life.
It was
besides
delicious.
A salmon lox bagel.
Right.
In real life.
Yeah, it was almost like slimy, like salmon, right?
But it had like the consistency and the taste, and it had a good cream cheese on it.
That was some crazy stuff.
It was just hearty, and
there's nothing. Oh yeah, it was
I'm
good.
gonna be hunting this truck down all over town.
It was a win.
Unfortunately, I don't want to talk negatively about an establishment, but we lost one too over the weekend. The burger place.
Eden Burger.
Yeah.
No, Eden Burger in Columbus.
I guess it just changed.
They renovated, and they changed their whole like dynamic. They went from like specialty vegan burgers to they wanted to become a vegan fast food joint. So it's just they cut their options. So it's just like
a burger
and fries and cheese fries and like chicken nuggets or something. All vegan still, and their shake was super good. It was all tasted really well. But Jimmy's just upset because they used to have like specialty like crazy kind of flavored burgers, and they don't have those anymore.
Their burgers and fries were like a 10.
Yeah.
Now their burgers and fries are like a 7.
Because it's just a plain burger. It's just a plain veggie burger.
Yeah, which is okay, but
good.
I can make myself a 7. But I was.
So you get in the kitchen.
You can see Lisa's face right now.
It's not accurate.
I made waffles for breakfast the other day.
You did, and they were the
vegan waffles.
They were the whitest thing.
Why were they so white?
Because you used white flour. I just talked about in the last podcast that I don't even have white flour, and then I came downstairs and you were in the kitchen.
I saw the whole wheat, and then I was like, "Well, there's white flour."
I don't know why I have white flour like in my kitchen, and then you made them, and they were good. But you know what's really like? Sorry, I'm like out of breath. You know what's really weird is that they tasted good, but it was like I wasn't full off of them like I am when I eat like pancakes that are whole wheat.
Really?
Yeah, because
I guess that makes sense. There's more nutrients or whatever.
It was like I don't know. It was like they were missing something because they were like white flour. I think it might have just been like a trick in my head, but it was. I haven't had like a white floured pancake in a while or something. I don't know. It was weird.
Well, there wasn't much to them, but.
No, but
I was in the kitchen cooking, just for the record.
So, okay, you could recreate an Eden Burger, sure.
No.
Yeah, you couldn't. Anyways, that was good. And any other food?
I really liked the cauliflower steak.
Oh,
That's been remembering that for a little bit.
Well, that came because I was just being lazy. Like
how did you make that?
Cauliflower wings I've made a lot of cauliflower wings, and it's like a big process of like dredging and putting them in flour and then baking them, and then you toss them in buffalo sauce with like butter. I mean, they're not very healthy for you. They've got a lot of other stuff going on in them. But I made a cauliflower steak. I did the same thing with the dredging, like with the flour, whole wheat flour.
Yeah.
And soy milk, but I didn't want to make like little tiny wings, so I just cut the whole cauliflower head into like 4 steaks and just dredged those 4 steaks and baked them instead of the individuals. And I
preferred it.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, it was like heartier.
The way it cut and came off.
It's pretty dang. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's on your Instagram. If you want to see a picture of that.
Yeah.
Lisa Beats Your Meat on Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. Social media these days.
Gotta get on it, man. Jeez. I think.
Do you know I have 4 Instagrams like set up on my Instagram?
We still have the school one.
I have a school one.
Get rid of that.
I have like a real estate one. I have my personal one, and I have Lisa Beats Your Meat.
Oh man, I think for the beaters, as I was looking at your cauliflower steak today,
what?
That you should post one thing a day that you eat. You just eat. Every meal's vegan, so just like pick one a day and put it on there.
Okay.
With a description.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
Get off my back,
Lisa
man.
Beats Your Meat on Instagram.
I'm like 1,000 weeks pregnant, like taking care of a kid, doing real estate, like running around trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Oh, Lisa fell down the stairs.
I did, yeah.
She hurt her foot.
I sprained like my foot. I couldn't walk for a couple days.
She's okay.
I'm faint.
Maximilian's okay too.
Maximilian's resting on my blood vessels, and I have low blood pressure to begin with, so I'm like woozy all the time, which I don't know if anybody's ever felt faint out there. It's a terrible feeling.
Yeah, especially when you do faint.
Yeah.
We had a couple nice emails. People were concerned about you fainting.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
It's like not cool.
Oh, yeah, we should talk about some of the emails we got.
No,
we'll do that next time.
Go over that.
If you've sent us an email in the past couple of
We're drifting.
weeks, there's been some good ones. Yeah, we just have a couple news things to go over. The Beyond Beef Burger. I don't think it's made it back yet.
It hasn't?
I haven't seen it yet in stores. But
you've gone grocery shopping?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
That's true. I haven't looked for it.
Okay.
But their facility has opened. It's in Missouri. And it went from a 30,000 square foot facility to a 100,000 square foot facility. So more than tripled. 250 new workers.
250 workers?
Yeah.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Good job. That's a legit business.
That's jobs.
Yeah. Okay, vegan industry.
I'm seeing people post about it that are the farthest from vegan.
Yeah.
That are
it's a good
interested.
Product.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's funny. I think we've talked about this a little bit before, but now that it's becoming more and more popular, there's more and more people talking on these forums and stuff about it being too meaty. And I don't know when you get to the level of veganism where you're grossed out by something that replicates meat. I don't. That's a. It didn't gross you out, and you've never really eaten meat.
Yeah. That's. I don't know. When people vegans, you guys are complaining.
Turn it down.
That the fake meat is too meaty. What do you want? That's like
almost. It's usually there's like
you're damned if you don't.
Yeah, there's usually a caveat there that says like, I know this is good for society and animal agriculture.
I can't do
treatment
it.
of animals, but I just can't do it. It makes me sick because it resembles meat too much.
Yeah, but the people that are saying that, like, whenever you say that, I just can't do it. That means in turn I can't do it. I'm going to judge you for doing it.
I guess, yeah. But I'm here to say that I personally love the taste of meat. I love chicken. I love hamburgers. I love steak. I love bacon. But I don't eat any of those things because a lot of reasons. But the taste of them was good. The smell of them is good. The burgers, I never really, I think I talked about that before, never really that good. But meat does taste good. Sorry.
I don't know. Like I've said, I've never had bacon. So I'm wondering if there was a replica of bacon and it was like the exact thing of bacon, how I would feel about it.
You wouldn't know because you've never had it. Yeah. But anyways,
their production is back in action.
It's big. It's real big. And there's been a lot of talk of the fake or the lab meat coming too.
Yeah.
Heard that on some mainstream
news outlets,
talk shows and news outlets that
like The View.
Over the next oh God, they were all over the news lately.
Why?
Oh, they had on some conservative, I can't remember.
Why do those shows do that? Like Bill Maher will always have a conservative on there, and he just rips them.
Well, this got like nasty. I think Whoopi has allegedly spit on someone backstage. They kicked her out. They were screaming at her. Like,
come on,
I don't know if you
people.
saw
Be
any of this.
Civil. No, I haven't.
Yeah, politics is getting really disgusting lately.
Can't spit on people.
Yeah, that's an alleged part of it, but a lot of some of the words that were thrown around were caught backstage on tape and stuff, so got pretty nasty.
I would like to think that on camera that this is way off subject, but that the kind of antics that you see, like on Bill Maher, he like, I don't know, he razzes with his conservative guests, but I would like to think that that's just to get ratings and stuff, and that once they're off stage, you guys are all civil human beings that can speak to one another.
It used to be like that. It really did. Even as a teacher, different politics within the building. It was always like, even growing up, my dad would my parents would say this. You got to separate the politics from the person. People just have different viewpoints and different worldviews. That's gone right now.
That's sad.
It's a shame. But anyways, Bill Maher and a couple people I think are good at that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he
Razzing.
I don't think he hates
I
people.
don't think he's spitting on people after.
No, there's a lot of hate out there. I don't think he hates. He like seriously disagrees with as conservatives do with liberals and liberals with anyways.
That's his job.
But
without a conservative viewpoint, he doesn't have a job.
Very true. Where were we? Oh, the lab meat's been popping up on things like that. So that's coming. And then everything we're going to talk about tonight might not matter anymore. But the environmental stuff, it gets very interesting. We're going to talk a little bit about an article that's been circulating. If you're anywhere into the vegan news on Twitter, Instagram, or real news outlets, you've seen this article about the environmental destruction.
This is about straws.
No. God, enough about the straws already.
We were at dinner tonight, and the lady brought over straws, and I was like, we don't need these because we're environmentalists. Because I was, like, joking, but serious. And no, but she was like, oh, good, I'll tell my boss. Like, you don't need them. And I was like, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, just like
she was on my side.
A meme that was like, Starbucks got rid of straws.
They did.
Guess what they replaced them with?
What?
Plastic tops.
Oh.
I mean, still, they had a plastic top anyways that a straw went through, but now it's like the shape of like the top of a coffee cup.
Oh.
But it's still a hunk of plastic.
Yeah, but it could be biodegradable.
It's not.
Okay.
It could be, but it's not. It's still just plastic. But I think can you not put cold brew in a paper cup?
I don't know, but
Doesn't stay as cold, maybe.
Sorry, this is off subject, but I actually read an article today about that plastic, and there's like 5 places in the ocean where the plastic's all meeting, and that because like only 30% of the plastic that was created in all the world has been like biodegrading, or I don't
think any of it has.
No, I think they said like 30% is. But anyways, that if they had 1,000 ships 24/7, hauling off as much like 500 like tons of this stuff every single day, it would take 79 years to clear out these things.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can be done with all that plastic.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, this is more about greenhouse gas emissions.
Okay.
So this, and I try to dig to the bottom of this, but this nonprofit agency, it's called the IATP, so the Institute for Agriculture and Trade Policy, did a independent study about they measure how much destruction you're doing in terms of greenhouse gases with what is it? Metric tons of GHGs. Well, anyways. They're saying that the top 5 meat and dairy corporations, so JBS, which is a leading processor of beef and pork and lamb in the U.S., Tyson Chicken, which we've all heard of, Cargill, which is the leading feed provider of cattle throughout the world, and then Fonterra, and then Dairy Farmers of America. These are the top 5 big guys of animal agriculture, whether it's the feed or the cattle or the dairy. Collectively, they produce more greenhouse gas emissions than ExxonMobil, BP, and Shell, which are the
combined.
No, individually. So that makes it sound not as bad. But ExxonMobil alone produces less than those 5 together. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Either way, they're in there now. Animal agriculture is in the same category as
ExxonMobil.
ExxonMobil, when it comes to destruction of the environment, essentially. And that's, we've certainly talked about that before. And the things that they say, so whether it be gas or cattle or whatever, the 3 ways that
they're polluting.
You contribute, obviously direct emissions from facilities, machinery, things like that. When it comes to animal agriculture, that's going to include the methane that comes from
cow farts?
The digestive system of grazing cows, which I guess out of the greenhouse gases is one of the worst.
It's like more concentrated, right?
Yeah, and it's
deadly, silent, but it's literally silent but deadly.
BD.
Okay.
That's what we used to call it.
We didn't. I didn't sit around with my girlfriends and we're like, that's
play, like,
BD.
Ever play like doorknob safety?
No.
You know what that is?
Something where you fart and then you have to touch a doorknob, and then there's
Yeah.
like cereals involved. Of
Yeah,
some sort.
you see, you know. If you fart, you have to. If you don't say safety before someone says doorknob, you have to get to a doorknob, and on your way, you can be beaten severely.
There's no girl that I grew up with and I'm friends with that would fart, and then we would all be like, "Ho ho ho! You just farted. Better call safety." Like,
No, there's no discussion. You just yell doorknob.
yeah, that wasn't like what we were talking about. That wasn't going on.
Oh well.
If one of my friends farted, we all acted like it didn't happen.
Nothing to see here. Well, anyways, cow farts.
They're
So
deadly.
the direct emissions from whatever the facility may be, and then the second one would be indirect emissions. So what it takes to generate enough energy to keep facilities up and running, from electricity to shipping to driving the trucks, the fuel.
So that's probably why this is going up, because I don't think like the emissions of actual animals pollution is going up, but the amount of meat and dairy that people are requiring is going up.
Yeah.
So that's why this is getting bigger.
And the energy used to clean up their shit
Yeah.
and to try to, transport them to different parts of the country. And
Got it.
yeah. And then the third one was the emissions that come from shipping animals. Okay, that's the transportation. So that's the third. Moving everything around. And it's the same thing with oil and gas.
It's the moving.
The moving and
the extracting.
the drilling and all that stuff. So anyways, that was an interesting study because these companies, these gas companies or fuel companies, have to report out these different levels of emissions where animal agriculture doesn't.
They don't have
So
to.
it's easy to just point your finger and shake your finger at ExxonMobil or BP and
Right.
for what kind of destruction they've been doing. And this has also been pretty big news lately in terms of, we can go back to politics here for a minute. The
Everyone
Paris
loves that topic.
Yeah, I do. I get a whole podcast on politics. The Paris Accord or whatever. I don't know that much about it. But most of the world, I think it's 70 or 80% of the world agreed to reduce their
Carbon emissions?
yes.
But
and
the United States didn't, right?
We were in it until recently, until June 1st. We said we're out.
Why?
There's a clause in there that within the first few years you can declare that you were leaving. It takes a few years to do that. Essentially, Donald Trump felt like, and he did single-handedly pulled this out of it, that we were getting screwed. That's pretty much his mantra, whether
Why?
it be trade
'Cause
deals or NAFTA or this Paris Accord, that we're taking on a larger burden than other countries.
Oh, okay.
The good news was, even though we pulled out of it and it pissed off a lot of the world, turns out in 2017 and 2018 we reduced
Our emissions.
our pollution more than any other country in the world.
Oh, really?
Even out of this thing, we're doing our part. We're just not into this. So essentially, what Donald Trump was concerned with was that it was going to slow down our production of energy here.
Okay.
So getting the oil, extracting, fracking, whatever it may be, getting fuels from our own country.
But we still are lowering our emissions.
And we still are.
Could we be
yes.
lowering them more if we
If we were in it, we wouldn't have lowered them anymore, but we'd be more in this, like, we're all in this together.
Okay.
And that's
So it's
what
like a
people
bad
wanted.
image.
It is. And it made other countries be like, oh, well, why are we in it if
Well,
the U.S. isn't in it?
China's terrible for polluting. China's
God, yeah.
30% of all the pollution in the world comes from one country, China.
Yeah, that was another, I guess, criticism of this is...
These Asian countries have like no regulations whatsoever.
Yeah, and they're the few exceptions that
are
aren't
really
necessarily...
screwing us over.
And they're not in this agreement.
Why not? And they're plastic. Oh, in that same article I was reading out of The Week, which I really like that magazine.
Oh, yeah.
But they like everything in China is plastic. Like everything. And they got in
Yeah,
trouble
it's how it
for
all comes here.
they were using like CFCs in their plastic. Did you know that?
No.
That it was like cheaper to produce some plastics with CFCs. That's why you got to watch what you buy from China. I mean, I know everything's from China, but like I never buy like dog bones or dog treats from China.
Yeah, things you're gonna eat or like things your kids are playing with. But I don't know. It gets to be very interesting, especially when it comes to energy. So I guess just like the straws, just like consuming meat, like I can sit here and say, oh, I'm an environmentalist more than you are because I don't eat meat. But I drive a car that uses a lot of gas.
Yeah.
Not
our new car.
No, it's much better on gas, but we're all doing things.
We're all going to harm.
We're literally all doing things that are harming the environment. I don't know anybody that doesn't use plastic or burn fossil fuels. At some point. There was a thing called Plastic Free July. Hashtag all over Twitter and Facebook. And I was like, that's a good idea. Like the dairy free February, whatever. But then I stopped and I was like, that's impossible.
Yeah.
Like, can you even drink like soy milk without plastic? Can you buy?
Yeah, those aren't plastic. The only thing plastics on that is the cap.
The cap. But yeah, what?
Do you know what
How hard would it be to go a whole month without purchasing plastic? That'd be insane. It'd be a fun.
Yeah, I don't know if I
thing to try, but how would you eat?
I know. You threw a curveball at me.
Sorry, you have to buy like cans of beans.
Yeah, because you couldn't buy like frozen food. That's plastic.
Yeah, you couldn't buy. You could
containers
are all plastic. Just vegetables, I guess.
Plastic bags. I don't use those plastic bags when we go to the grocery store. No, you just
throw it into the cart. It's really funny. But now I guess that makes sense.
Well, it's annoying because I don't use them in the fridge.
Lisa just like throws handfuls of onions and then the garlic, and like when she goes up to the counter, she just throws them all up onto the.
Fine. Anyways, do you know what I put in our Amazon cart today?
What?
like wood toothbrushes that I saw something about how toothbrushes don't biodegrade, and so
they're all plastic.
Yeah, well, so we needed some new toothbrushes, so I was gonna buy some. They're like $10 for like 5 of them, and they're like, I don't know what they're made of. They got to be made out of like wood or cardboard or.
That's the cool thing. There are
something
like the straws we got from the little kitchen truck.
Yeah.
They were biodegradable. Yeah, you're like, you got straws, but. They're biodegradable.
There are options.
Yeah, and I guess the more we attempt to do this reduction of plastic, the more companies are going to respond to it.
That's why I yelled at our server, and she was very responsive.
Like, put those back.
Yeah. She was like, Jesus Christ, what's wrong with this lady?
But that story was everywhere. That wasn't just like I'm off in little vegan la la land. That was mainstream. But as always, well, they said, just to wrap this one up, that the prediction was that if meat and dairy companies continue to engage in their destructive practices, the animal agriculture sector will produce 80% of the greenhouse gas emissions, the maximum allowable emissions set forth by the Paris Climate Change Agreement by 2050. So it'll max out just what we've agreed, not we, but what they've agreed to. And we're still in it until 2020, I think. Okay. But then you get into, this is where it gets complicated with politics, intertwined with science. You know how you have these world governments or these, country governments coming into this world agreement, and then, funding gets involved, and then science gets involved, and then you have, political divides, and there's people in this country and other countries that see those numbers as skewed. And
is the greenhouse gas emissions causing global warming?
That's a big debate.
Is that what people think?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the greenhouse effect. So we emit these gases into the ozone, and the heat comes in and then it can't get out.
Okay.
And best way I've heard it explained in high school was like when you leave your windows roll up in your car. The reason your car gets so hot is because the heat comes through the glass into the car, but then it can't leave, so it's stuck in there. And that's what's happening to the Earth. No one's, I guess, arguing that the climate isn't fluctuating. It's just the argument is,
are we causing
it, and to what degree, and can we stop it, and is it worth?
I think it's a stupid argument because I don't necessarily, like, not that I don't care about global warming. I think that has maybe like some dire effects, but I think it's stupid for someone to spend so much time when it's very obvious that we're screwing up our world in other ways, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we're polluting our world. There's freaking Texas size masses of plastic in the ocean. There's species being gone. Like, that's not all just due to greenhouse or the climate change. It's due to what we've done to our earth. Like, I don't know. Like, that's what I feel. It's
You've
like so
said it a
silly.
few times. Like, what's the worst case scenario here? Let's say human beings are not causing any climate change whatsoever.
We're still screwing our earth up. Like,
taking
royally.
all these steps to reduce emissions, to reduce smog, to reduce water damage. I mean, there's nothing bad in that,
No.
regardless of whether or not Florida's going to be
justified.
underwater or something.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be the argument. That's a nice logical meet in the middle argument there.
No, it's I'm screwing both sides. Like, the side that's
You
like,
both suck.
yeah, that it's like global warming's decimating our environment, and then the other side, like, it's not happening. Like, both of you take a look out your front door, and you can shut up and stop eating meat. Like,
well, this is kind of fun. I always like to, especially when it comes to articles that oppose our vegan arguments. I like to see where they're coming from financially.
yes.
So I thought I'd kind of do that in reverse on this one.
Okay.
And this is remember this is the IATP, the Institute for Agriculture and Trade Policy. And I'm saying, so they did this huge study that showed that, again, these oil companies are just as bad as animal agriculture. So I was wondering,
the IAT people said that this.
they're the ones that did the study
Okay.
and said that, the animal agriculture is causing all this destruction.
Okay. And who is IAT sponsored by?
That's what I was trying to figure
Beyond
out. And
Beef.
they were found. That's almost what's being argued here. So there's a site called untrusted.net.
Oh, that
and
sounds totally legitimate.
It's activist facts. So
Sure, it's not Russia.
It takes you, could be, I don't know. It takes you backwards through any activism, whatever it may be, to what's funding it. But this is saying that the founder of this, which is from 86, has his own like organic coffee company,
And that
and he runs it out of the same building as this institution. And this is a far stretch, so I thought it was kind of funny.
Conspiracy.
It says IATP is a prime example of a nonprofit that engages in, quote, black marketing, the public disparagement of one set of products in order to turn a profit with the competition. So by condemning conventional methods of agriculture, the IATP is hoping to drive the American market towards organic-only stuff, which is something that he owns a segment of the popular. But he has like a coffee.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to hear this and go buy organic coffee. It was a really big stretch, but I thought it was funny. I don't know. Like, everyone's hating on everything. But I figured with such a damning article against such big people that you were going to have some people opposing it. So that's kind of why I went looking for this, and I found it quickly. I also found the weirdest thing in the world.
What?
It's nothing to do with any of this. From pork, this is called like pork.net.
Okay.
And it's a farm journal.
They go
like a
straight
magazine.
For the .com.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
.coms are more expensive than .nets.
Are they?
Yep.
We have a .com.
That's because we're high class.
We're big time. But this is like a pork magazine for like farmers.
Oh.
And this is totally unrelated. It's kind of related because it's trying to disparage people who are animal activists.
Okay.
It says each year the Animal Agriculture Alliance releases reports from major animal rights conferences. We, which is the people reading pork.net, we believe it's critical for us in animal agriculture to understand what strategies and tactics will be used against us. We released our report from the 2018 Animal Rights National Conference. So this is...
They had like spies go into the
Animal Rights Conference. It says, rather than summarize the conference for you, I'd like to once again let the activists speak for themselves. So they're like setting this up like you're about to hear the craziest shit you've ever heard.
Yeah. What'd they say?
There's a few of these like owning another living being is an act of violence. Like
Oh.
they don't even have to they're not even explaining these. They're saying these will speak for themselves how ludicrous they are, and they're not at all. Hens can never have reproductive freedom. Eggs don't just happen.
Wait.
I don't know.
Hens can never have reproductive freedom. Eggs don't just happen.
Yeah. Apparently, they want hens to have reproductive freedom. I don't know.
I think that the biggest issue in our country right now are hens' reproductive rights.
That's a bit. You do have that sticker on the car.
I think that's a huge issue that should be addressed.
One of these shocking statements was the best thing we can do, ? Stop eating meat.
That's just a normal statement.
Yeah. I do believe that all farming and slaughterhouses are cruel.
Okay.
Our movement must adopt all avenues, the methodical and radical. Okay, there we go.
Getting a little warmer.
Yeah. Here's a scary one. If we can rescue animals, we must rescue them.
So the pork people are like, these are like the crazy people.
Yeah, then they wrap it up by saying, it's clear that these groups and individuals are willing to be extreme and aggressive in their quest for animal liberation.
Well, when you
we need to be informed and stay ahead.
You're like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde over there. You're like, we should rescue animals. It's clear these people are evil.
It was amazing, though.
Yeah.
I do believe that all farming and slaughterhouses are cruel.
Well, they are.
Oh, here's a good one. We are accountable
They're
at the
terrible
gates of
places.
heaven for how many people we lead to veganism and how many we don't.
Well, this isn't a religion.
So we can skip church now.
That's a bit.
Lisa Beats Your Meat. It's getting us into the
Into
pearly
heaven?
gates. Okay.
That's a bit.
I feel you. Oh, this is from the
stretch.
Jewish vegan movement.
The Jewish vegan movement.
I didn't know there was a Jewish vegan movement.
Huh.
Interesting. Okay, that was a big side note, but not really. That was going along with the same theme that there's going to be
Revolution.
way different, ideas out there. But
Well,
some people think that saying the
Don't
best
eat-
thing we can do, stop eating meat, is a radical, terrible, insane idea.
well, I mean, if it's their livelihood to sell meat, then yeah, I would probably say that too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But that's not my livelihood. My livelihood is this podcast and selling houses. If anybody's looking for a
Yes.
home,
If you don't want to get on Patreon and give us $1 a month, you live in Columbus, Ohio,
or Ohio in general.
the whole state.
I'm licensed to sell and buy in Ohio.
And she's good.
I'm just kidding. I already
No.
have one on the books, man.
She's not kidding. For real. If you're in Columbus and you need a real estate agent or you know someone who does,
Mm-hmm.
Lisa's got a good hookup. You do
Yeah,
work
it's-
for, I think, one of the bigger, better companies
Yeah,
in
I
the city.
I think they're nice. CRT.
CRT.
They're like legit.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I was going to talk about my business cards and how they're funny.
They're great.
I had to get headshots. It was like mortifying.
You have to put one on. Lisa Beats Your Meat
I
now.
want to put the one of me not smiling.
Put them all and make that the last one. All right, you'll see that on Lisa Beats Your Meat in the next couple days.
Okay.
I'll hold her to that.
Moving on.
The last story. Should have started
Is
with
this
this
the
one.
tick?
It's the coolest one. Yeah, the tick.
Dun, dun, dun,
Our
dun.
friend who gets pretty deep
He's
into
Mr. Conspiracy.
he's deep into the internet, whether it's penny stocks or science. He's a science teacher, scientific exploration.
Ask
and
him who did 9/11.
he goes into some bizarre stuff. So like a year ago, it's funny, I was scrolling back in our text messages to find this article. He sends me an article saying that there's this tick that apparently is causing people to be allergic to red meat.
Yeah.
We read it and we were like, haha.
I did read it. I assumed you did.
Oh, I did. But at the time, there had only been like 5 cases of this.
Okay.
And then I
This
think it was
isn't from like The Onion
no, like a whole
or
year
CNN.
later.
I'm just kidding.
Good one. His first article was from some bizarre website I've never heard of, which most of the articles he sends me are from. But most of them do end up becoming mainstream news, and this did. So a year later, he sent it to me, and it's an NPR article.
So it's legit.
It's legit. It's on. I have a Popular Science article. I have an NPR article.
Where are these ticks?
There's a Fox News. There's a CNN. Well, they're called the Lone Star tick. So
Lone Star. Is that because it's like cattle?
no, they originated in Texas. But so far, where's my map here? They take up so the eastern side of Texas, north all the way up to just about Michigan, and then the whole east coast.
Okay.
So they found these pretty much the whole right side of the United States of America, pretty much right up the middle.
In your head, when you said the East Coast, did you say never eat salty waffles or soggy waffles?
No.
Or can you?
I think I got past that. It took a while.
I just did it in my head. You were like the East Coast, and quickly in my head, I was like, never eat. Oh, you mean that part of the country?
Well, it's just what they called where I grew up, the Northeast.
Oh, I guess.
So it's not like geographical. It's more like
it
was called the Northeast.
Okay.
Central Ohio.
Yeah. Well, I'm Midwest, so.
But anyways, I do that if I'm like heading north, and then it's like I need to go east.
Never eat.
In my
soggy
head,
waffles.
I have to go to the
Do
right.
you say never eat soggy waffles?
No, shredded wheat.
But that doesn't make sense because
I
you
love
do
shredded
love
wheat.
shredded wheat.
It doesn't matter. James had a different one. I don't
Yeah.
remember what it was.
All the kid stuff is new these days.
I
It's
know.
all politically correct. He was like singing the trick or treat song, and it was like nothing about pulling someone's pants down or anything like that. It was like the one with the polka dot dress, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
This is boring.
World we live in.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so in the East.
It's the eastern half of the United States, with the exception of like the top of New York, New Hampshire, Vermont, and the top of Maine.
But aren't there ticks and they give you Lyme disease?
Yeah, Lyme disease is obviously a pretty serious issue.
It's not Lyme, right?
Yeah,
I just
especially
said
in
Lyme.
the Northeast too. I don't think we have it much out here in Ohio. We have a lot of ticks.
We don't have Lyme.
Lyme's disease.
I used to get mad ticks. Like I would come home from camping, like when I was a child, and they'd pull like 4 of them off my head.
Yeah. See, when I saw one here on a dog, I got freaked out because like in New York, and I think like Pennsylvania and a lot of these northeastern states, Lyme disease is so rampant that you're supposed to.
It's like a big deal.
You have to save the tick, and you have to bring it to the hospital
No.
and make sure it didn't have it. Because
Here it's like
if that goes
normal.
undiagnosed, like it's gonna screw you up really bad.
I think we talked about this. I pulled a tick off of Sam and I tortured it to death.
Maybe we didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh, we did. And you
It was-
maybe edited it out.
It was a very cruel thing.
It's not very vegan of
No.
you.
Well, it was like you have to pull the tick off entirely so they don't get like embedded in there because it'll get like infected, if you like leave a head or something inside of the dog. But then something came over me where I was like, you were trying to come after my dog. Like I just got real protective. And then like I think I was like trying to like squeeze it to kill it, but like it was going too slow and then it wasn't dying. Ticks are like kind of hard to kill.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie, there was definitely a part of me that like I did a little bit of it on purpose. It wasn't nice of me. And I don't even I shoo like flies outside, but this tick came after my dog. Wasn't cool with that.
Well, just for the record, if you come across a tick,
A Lone Star tick?
or any tick, you probably already know this, but they used to say, put
Burn it off?
Vaseline over it or
No.
hold a match to it, and it'll
take,
back out.
No, but
Yeah.
they don't do that. That's
No,
incorrect.
because apparently, if you do either of those two things, it will back out, but it'll regurgitate on its way out.
That's
So
disgusting.
the damage is done. The tick's out, but the damage is done. So you're supposed to do
Just tweezers and pull
tweezers.
it all out.
Yeah, even if you don't get it all out. If you rip its body off
Yeah.
and leave its head in you, it's okay. It's
Okay.
better than getting it to back out with.
We always
With
just
a
use
match.
tweezers or my mom's nails.
Yeah,
That's
that
just-
works too. Well, anyways, there's a tick that for real
Realsies.
causes a red meat allergy.
What's the allergy?
Well, I can explain
Are we talking like, oh, my tummy hurts? Or is it like...
Well, I'll give you, this is the real life instance, but like I said, there's been over 5,000 of these cases in the past couple years.
5,000?
5,000. At first it was 5.
There's 5,000 people out there that can't eat red meat anymore?
Yeah, so this woman, a realtor, her name is Laura, who lived in Maryland, was
Wonder what her
diagnosed with an
stats
allergy last year. She was walking trail with her dog, got bit by a tick, and then this is her speaking. I found the tick 3 to 4 inches to the left of my hip bone. At the time, she says she didn't think much of it. I just took it off and threw it away.
Which way of the left? Wait.
Gosh, put your fingers up in the air.
Moving it.
3 weeks later, she ate an Italian-style pork sausage for dinner. She had a horrible reaction. And this is the typical reaction. In the middle of the night, I woke up covered in hives, itching and scratching, felt lightheaded. She experienced stomach aches and other digestive issues. So that's pretty much what the allergy does.
She probably just thought she had like a bad sausage, though.
No, I guess it's like
terrible.
It's insane. Let's see where the other list of symptoms.
Maybe James got bit by a tick.
Maybe
He had a really bad digestive issue.
Yeah, but he was here for a while and didn't get. I don't know. Well, that's another story. Hives, itching, vomiting, diarrhea. But for a while, they didn't know what the heck was going on. So an allergist gave her a blood test to look for what's called an alpha-gal meat allergy that they discovered.
How would they know?
The test came back positive.
This is like some, house, you know?
Yeah, well,
like that. Like the allergist is probably like, I know what this is. It's an allergy to meat.
She
was probably like, that's the most obscure thing I've ever heard.
No, there was an article about how they accidentally figured it out.
Okay.
But then once they figured out that there was one, they tried to figure out.
This is going to be a house episode.
What's causing it? Like, how does it happen? Because apparently it's like strictly, even though in this article on NPR it says that, let's see here, that it's not just red meat. It says when the test came back positive, she was told to avoid all red meat, including beef, pork, and lamb. Despite a long-running campaign marketing, it is the other white meat. Pork is still classified as red meat.
What makes
I didn't know that.
red or white?
What it looks like, I guess. But pork is red meat. Essentially, it's a mammal.
Are we red meat? Have we talked about this?
We are red meat. So I never thought about it like this, but this particular allergy, it's a carbohydrate called galactose alpha 1 and then 3-galactose. Alpha-gal is most mammal cell membrane, so the allergy doesn't extend to non-mammal meat. So poultry and seafood are fine.
Okay. So
red meat, I guess, comes from a mammal. I never thought of it like that. So white meat is birds and seafood is seafood. So you can still eat chicken and fish. You just can't eat
mammals.
Steak, mammals. Yeah, just weird to think about.
Dolphins. They couldn't eat those. She
said, I thought it was completely crazy because I've eaten dairy and red meat all my life, but she quickly realized the diagnosis was spot on. Meat and dairy triggered her symptoms. So this is a bizarre story, but it's just becoming more and more common.
It's like
there's cases in Sweden, Germany, Australia.
Oh.
The Lone Star tick expanded range to southeast. Now there's documented cases further north, including New York, Maine, and Minnesota. So now it's a lot more common to test for it.
I bet there's going to be some crazy animal rights people that like send this tick out. You know?
Just get it.
Yeah, like
reproduce it.
Yeah.
That'd be insane.
That'd be so that's messed up, but it's also kind of not messed up.
Yeah, I just forgot it makes you wonder, like, on a bigger Pot Talk Tuesday sense of it all, like, is the earth just really in charge? And we're just overdoing it with animal consumption, and the earth's just being like, okay, we're going to have to correct this.
That's a good point.
By making, I mean, what if this spread like the plague?
Right.
And then
and
all
it
of a
seems
sudden,
like it could.
It's a tick, yeah, it
you
could.
You can't stop ticks.
Yeah. Very bizarre. I wish I could explain this a little better.
That's like there was a movie with I think Mark Wahlberg in it where like the wind killed people. Do you remember that?
No.
It was some sort of like apocalyptic thing where like massive amount of people were dying from it was like the oxygen produced by trees and it was actually like it was like a stupid movie, but like the premise of the movie was really like cool in that it was like we're overpopulated. We've kind of screwed up this earth. And so the earth was going to just cut us down a little bit.
Take it back.
Yeah, like it was just like, we can't handle this anymore. We're just going to kill some of you. And that's just natural disasters, not to be morbid, but natural disasters used to keep our population in check a little bit.
Yeah, I think we talked about that a little bit, but
it's not a nice thought, but
Joe
it's true.
Rogan had some kind of archaeologist on who's talking about the pyramids and stuff, and he was arguing that based on the water lines and the erosion levels, that they're a lot older than we've thought, and that there was a generation that was so sophisticated that we can't even fathom it. But then it was wiped out to a very small amount, to the point where everything went back to the beginning. And that's why those pyramids are so, we still don't even understand how they were done. But that human beings got so sophisticated, and then they got wiped out by like a nuclear, what was it called?
There was a nuclear bomb?
No, when
pyramid
volcanoes, when they erupt, like
yeah.
a super volcano can cover the sun, and you have a nuclear winter, they call it. So you go in it, like 1,000 years of no sunlight or something would kill off most of the population, and then it had to start over, and that could happen. Anyways, this tick is the real deal. So here's how they think. There's a couple different theories that I've read here.
Like
so
why the tick causes the allergy?
Why, yeah, and this is science stuff, so it's not always our favorite, but so the reason our bodies can't recognize and react to the alpha gal as a foreign molecule is that we don't already have it in our cells. If we did, an allergy to alpha gal would actually present some kind of autoimmune disorder where the body starts attacking itself. But since we don't create it already, your immune system is free to start attacking it whenever you eat red meat.
Okay.
So
because we're mammals.
And that's what allergies are. So anyone who suffers from allergies knows this. Your body takes a beating in the process of attacking what it thinks is dangerous. And that's where you get the hives, the itching, the diarrhea.
Okay. So an allergy is like when your nose is sniffly and your eyes are watering, that's your body trying to get rid of something that it thinks is bad.
Yeah.
Like those symptoms aren't necessarily like the problem. That's a symptom of what's going on in your body.
Yeah, your body trying to correct something that it might not necessarily need to.
Are weird. I do not understand allergies. Like you said, like just allergies in general. You said your allergies got better when you became vegan, and that's cool. But you still definitely get hit by allergies. Like
yeah, they're better, but yeah, they still get me.
I just don't understand them. I don't understand why some people get them and some people don't.
And they've changed.
Yeah, like there's like trends, historical trends on that. I mean, like the peanut butter allergy, that one, like I do understand that you didn't like expose, a lot of people didn't expose their kids to peanuts, so then it was like a foreign body, and then I don't know, but why are nuts in general way higher in allergies instead of, another substance? They're just, I don't get them. They're crazy.
I don't get it.
And now ticks are
the biggest annoyance in my life.
For sure. It's like
but I wish it was
in my life about you.
Yeah, I wish it was something I could just simply avoid. But unfortunately, like
it's your environment.
Going into a friend or family's house, or going into work, or going into a place. Yeah. I can't just say no to that. But you can just say no to me. So people
there's ticks now that are causing.
Yeah. And you can get
allergies.
over this. Like people have time does have it go away, but it takes a long time. I don't know. It's a really interesting thing, and like I said, it was very obscure when I first read about it, and we were gonna just mention it on the podcast, but then
now it's mainstream.
Over the past year, it's becoming more and more common. So there's tons of different articles and theories on it. But the only thing it's not a theory is that there's a tick that can bite you, that will cause you to have a severe reaction to the things you might have been eating your whole life.
When you get bit by the tick, is it the actual tick bite any different from a normal tick?
No.
How are you going to know?
You're not. But when you go in with these symptoms, if you haven't tied them back to behavior, which I would never.
No one
I'm not good at that. Some people can be like, oh, I didn't eat this, and this is what I was allergic to. But I guess, you hear about people with celiac disease for 40 years before they realized it was just I could choose not to eat this or that.
That's crazy. That's another allergy that's crazy.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Why do some people have celiac disease and some people don't? But then
beats me.
I don't get people are anti-gluten in general, and I think it's because the gluten from the wheat plant. They said that the wheat plant is one of the most highly modified plants that we have, so that modification that's a GMO that's unhealthy just in general.
Yeah,
that's totally.
I tried to watch that documentary. I fell asleep. Yeah. But anyways, that's it for the tick thing. But if you want to see where I got that info, it's it's a PBS article. Just put in, if you type in tick that,
Tick.
like it'll finish it for you. Causes red meat allergy. Like there's tons of articles that Google come up. But
Interesting.
just be vegan. I guess it doesn't matter. I've never had a tick on me. Knock
You've
on
never
wood.
had a tick bite?
I don't get mosquito bites.
I'm number one.
Magical.
Covered in mosquito bites currently.
Yep.
I still have every summer now. This is the third summer running. I get some sort of weird blistery skin rash that I just get. Our front yard looks terrible because I refuse to go out there and landscape because I'm gonna get some sort of. It's so horrible. It's horrific.
I'll get out there.
Yeah, and then bugs they eat me alive. I've had so many tick bites. Like when I was growing up, I was always in the woods because my dad had land down in Southern Ohio, and literally, like, I think my record one time was like pulling 4 ticks off of my head.
That's disgusting.
It is, but like, what am I supposed to do? Not play in the woods? I don't know. It's not like I like mean to get bit by stuff or mean to like get all these things.
Some DEET on you or something.
No, I don't know. I'm just covered. I was thinking about it. That's why I like summer because I wasn't working, but now that I've got like a different job lifestyle, like I am not, summer kind of sucks for me.
Well, you're very pregnant too.
I'm really pregnant, yeah. Actually, some lady at this open house that I did today was like, I bet you wish it felt like this every day or something. And I was like, yeah, but to be honest, like I'm just really uncomfortable. Like I'm at my threshold for uncomfortableness.
Whether it's 90 or 60.
Yeah, like it could be like a really pleasant day out. I'm still really uncomfortable. Sitting, standing, laying is cool for like 10 minutes. And then I got to switch to the other side. And then I got to go back to the other side. I can't even lay on my back. With Bob, when I was pregnant, I could lay on my back like you weren't supposed to. The only thing that sucked was like the guilt of laying on my back. But now, like, it's actually uncomfortable to lay on my back. It's awful.
Struggle is real, young lady.
And I still have like close to 2 months to go. And that's the worst, is that like people see you and they're like, oh my God. Like we went to a party. What was it, yesterday? Yeah. It was like a surprise birthday party. And literally this guy just came up to me and was like, and he looked like he was like a well-to-do gentleman. He was like, wow, you're pregnant. And I was just like,
thanks,
yeah.
man.
But like I also was like, that's what everyone's thinking. Thank you. Like that's an honest thank you. It's an honest statement.
Yeah, you don't always see it quite like that.
Yeah. And then he was like, congratulations. I was like, thanks. And then I go into like my generic spiel of like, it's a boy. I have a boy at home. And they're like, oh my God, God rest your soul.
He's 8 months old. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Close. No.
No.
But that's it. That's Lisa Beats Your Meat, season 2, episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
No, nothing's really different except our goal is there'll be one every Monday or early in the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't. I'm
4
not
a
making
month.
empty Yeah, 4 a month is the goal.
Yeah. Especially if the people start kicking in on the Patreon, we'll have an obligation to fulfill.
Do you know what my goals are? Is just like to get through the day.
Okay.
Literally.
Well,
that's
you start
it.
thinking about the podcast more when you're getting through your day.
I can think about the podcast 100% when I'm not with a child literally sitting on my blood vessels right now.
Oh yeah, we should have done a shot of whiskey to start the show.
Yeah, well, I can't. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, September 20th.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do that. But yeah, so again, iTunes, rate us, or any other place that you get a podcast. And check out patreon.com/Lisa Beats Your Meat.
Check out my
There's
Instagram.
A comment section on there. Tell us what you think of it. Anything we could have done better. Maybe you're familiar with the site. We're pretty new to it. Yeah, the Instagram, where Lisa will be posting one thing a day.
Any questions you have, email us, or concerns or show ideas. If you want to be on our show, you should let us know. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we get a lot of emails from people that
are like super reputable.
Yeah, we do. We reply to all of them eventually. It takes a while, but just know that if you have email, lisabeatsyourmeat@gmail.com, we have both read it, and we really appreciate a lot of that. And you'll probably hear us talk about some of the things that you might have recommended, but we do appreciate that ideas.
Yeah.
And
I sent out
like
some recipes. I emailed a lady a recipe the other day
for the banana pudding.
Yep,
the infamous banana pudding. We don't
Banana
need to talk
cream
about
pie.
that anymore.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I met this. We'll end this with this, but
Yeah.
I met
Every
Amina's.
show ends with banana cream pie.
I met Amina's boyfriend, and so you remember when she came in and she was like, "Can I have some pie?" And we were like, "No." And we were like, "Did she come home just for this banana cream pie?" You know. Well, when I met her boyfriend, and he's like a really nice guy. But when I was leaving the bar from meeting him, I was like, "Oh, well, we'll have to have you over for dinner or something like that." And I was like, "I'll make banana cream pie." And he was like, "Yeah, I was in the car and I really wanted some banana cream pie." And I was like, "So you did come home just for that banana cream pie?"
She should have said it was to
Yeah,
give her boyfriend.
I would have known that it was to influence.
Why did he come? I saw his car out, or someone out front.
It was him. I think it was him.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Well, she must not listen to the podcast because she hasn't brought up how much we talked about her.
Yeah. She's upstairs right now. She doesn't. She's no idea.
Oh, that's amazing.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. And yeah, rate us and all that fun stuff. And we'll be back in a week.
Heck yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Good night. We have one last piece of ice.
Chomp away. Ugh. Chewing ice is like 2 or 3 steps down from eating a banana with your mouth open.
Sorry. It's just chewing, though. I'm done doing with my mouth open.
Terrible sound.
Well, it's all I want to do. Like, all day long.
It's okay.